Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. So I'm finally getting a chance to sit down. It's been a pretty busy day at work today, but there's a lot of things going on in the NBA. Obviously, injuries are the story, and they are injuries to players you definitely want to see more of. So, of course, we've already discussed LeBron James' injury. He's going to be down probably for a couple weeks. I know he heals quickly, but this is a different type of ankle injury than what we're used to seeing. His ankle basically bent the opposite way that most ankles roll. It's a really awkward way for your ankle to roll. Thank God his bones are as strong as they are, because I think the average human being, having someone that big jumping at their leg at that angle, probably snaps their leg and gives them injury at least to go along with that ankle injury. So LeBron James' genetics, in my opinion, come back to work in his favor once again. It's no accident that this guy has only had two major injuries in his entire career and has played more minutes than anyone else who's ever played the sport. So that's just something that you can't teach. That's not something you can acquire. That's not something you can pay for. That's genetics, and LeBron James has them. So luckily for us, we have him. He's on our team, and he's not out for the season. Unlike the future rookie of the year, I hope he still gets it, but I honestly am not sure. LaMelo Ball, who now has a fractured wrist, uh, so devastating. Obviously, it could be worse. Of course, there are many different things that can go wrong when you have injuries, but for this to be in his wrist, for me, I would say, okay, well, it's broken, yeah, but there's no ligament damage. It's not a knee. It's not Achilles. It's not requiring surgery, from what I understand. Though I haven't had that confirmed yet. I don't know, but fracture means that it's not completely the end of the world. He'll come back strong next season, but unfortunately, he was runaway favorite for Rookie of the Year, and now that's in jeopardy. There's a lot of basketball left to play, and a guy by the name of Anthony Edwards is playing like a madman. So the chances of him coming back and taking it increase quite a bit, quite a bit. Although I don't know if that'll be the tail of the story anyway, because Melo has done so much. He's played more than half of the season. But unfortunately, when you only play that much game and you got another guy who's playing this well and has a lot more game left to play, the last thing we're going to remember is whatever Anthony Edwards does next. So, and I don't wish any injury on anybody. So there will be no thoughts of any injuries balancing things out. We're just hopeful that these injuries are done. Um, Steph Curry got injured somehow. I don't even know what injury he has at this point. I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, oh no, wait a minute, I take that back. No, that was the falling on the stair, weird butt contusion kind of thing. That just looked painful as all hell. I'm sorry. You talk about injuries that hurt. Him falling on his tailbone on that little metal stair. I know how hard those stairs are. I have fallen on a stair like that before. I know exactly what that feels like. And it's nothing to play with. Hopefully, he didn't crack anything. I don't really know, but yeah, that I do know of his injury. Draymond twisted his ankle. Looked like a more traditional ankle twist, unlike Bron's. But Draymond was playing so well once again. We're talking about a guy who's older, who's gonna have to come back from injury. It just takes longer to come back from stuff like that when you hit your mid 30s. And those guys, him and Bron, are definitely in that. So Steph is creeping up there too. So. Yeah, man, but unfortunately, it's the young guy who's going to be out for the rest of the season with his injury. When you break something, it's just pretty much the end. And with this much time left in the season, Charlotte Hornets were doing so well; they were well on their way to a playoff berth. I think that's in jeopardy, to be honest with you. I don't know that they make the playoffs without the young fella. It just sucks, man. I was enjoying watching all those guys. Everybody that I mentioned, even Draymond, I saw some Warriors clips over the last couple games. He's been really playing well over the last, this is a good season for Draymond Green. So for him to be down sets him back quite a bit. Okay, we're going to take LeBron's injury out of this because it doesn't matter what's going on. If somebody dives at your leg, that's that. But I really think, and I know I'm not the only person who's going to say this, when the NBA decided to condense the season like they did to 72 games and squeeze people into playing back-to-backs a lot and having players going in and out for COVID and just the stuff that they've been forced to do, having an all-star game when guys had their mind set on getting rest, no preseason, summer league, all of these different things that this season and this last season has brought us has led to what I think is happening right now, which is a bunch of players are just getting hurt, man. And this feels preventable, and I'd love to think we're done. Like I said, I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but if you read the tea leaves, this is what you got. Guys are tired. Guys are worn out. Guys are overexerting. Guys are trying to compensate for other guys missing games. Guys are going in and out of the lineup once and again, getting inconsistencies in their minutes. When you exert yourself to that degree and you don't have any consistency whatsoever, it heightens the chances of you getting hurt. And I think we're seeing a direct result of that taking place. Now, that doesn't mean that injuries don't occur anyway, because they obviously do. 82 games is a lot of games, and injuries always occur. But you don't usually see players that are conditioned this well get hurt consecutively like this. These are some of the better conditioned athletes in the game. Steph Curry, LeBron James, young LaMelo has been playing grown-up ball for the last 3 years, so he has a more equipped threshold for grown men pushing around than maybe most rookies do. So that counts in my book, and he's hurt too. It's just, and those are not the only 4 guys hurt. There are other players that are just going in and out of the lineup. Injuries just taking over. You got DeAndre Hunter down. You got what's his name? Cole Anthony went down with a shoulder. He hasn't been back in a while. It's just a million guys going down. Obviously, Joel Embiid. It's really, CJ just got back from injury, etc. That's, I guess, is the good side about a lot of this. Some of the guys that have been injured for a while are on their way back. But, at the end of the day, when you remove Steph, LeBron, and Melo from today's NBA, you're removing 3 of the biggest stars in the game. Yeah, it just sucks to have lost all those guys to injury in like a matter of a day. Like a Saturday, it's just like, come on, man. But, it is what it is. Now these teams have to move forward. Like I said, Charlotte, I don't know what they're going to do necessarily. They do have point guards that they like. Of course, another player coming back from injury. Devontae Graham now gets to slip into his role as a go-to scorer without Melo's minutes kind of taken away from his. So, therefore, you'll be able to see a better version of Devontae Graham, I believe. But, we'll see what happens with the trades. Obviously, now teams are going to have to adjust their entire game plan to a degree, especially a team like the Lakers. We're going to have to figure out where we're headed, what we believe our team is going to look like over the next several weeks, what they're going to need to be able to keep us in the playoff hunt. Because I'm telling you, it's like if we go on like a 5-game losing streak, we can find ourselves literally in the 8th seed. Like we're close to the 2nd seed, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in there, and we're only 3 games from the 6th seed. Like if we lose a lot of games in a row, it can be a situation where we're actually looking at a play-in game situation. So, and not to say that I don't have confidence that a healthy AD and a healthy Bron can still get it done from that position, but it's going to be a hard road, and a much harder road than it should be when you're leading up to playing a team like the Nets. So that's just the reality of how I see that going. So yeah, man. If I want to really talk about LeBron's injury, particularly, I was sitting there watching it over and over again, and I had an initial reaction yesterday. I said I didn't think that it was a basketball play, but at the same time, I didn't think it should be a suspension for Solomon Hill. I didn't think that he did it on purpose necessarily. Well, no, I was on the fence about that. I actually said that I thought he may have done that on purpose. I thought it might have been on some jealousy stuff, but I was open to being wrong. But after watching it, I'm even more so concerned that was a deliberate play. I would love to get over here and say, you know what, I was jumping out the window on the boy Solomon. It wasn't that serious. I didn't think he tried to hurt LeBron. But honestly, after watching the play, and I've had time to sit and think about what I want to say here, it looked deliberate to me. If you're an athlete, and this is not a rookie, Solomon's been in this league for a long time, and he's been making a lot of money for the Pelicans, some contracts that make you scratch your head. And I'm not going to lie, I said, This morning I was sitting there eating my oatmeal, as I always do, and I said, oh, now I see who was getting paid for. He was the guy that's supposed to end the LeBron era. Probably paid by somebody who doesn't like LeBron. I don't know. But, that's the type of thing. He looked like a hitman to me. He looked like he was out there to handle someone else's wishes in regards to hurting LeBron James. That's what I felt. And I know that's a wacky theory. Most people are going to tell me to go to hell for saying something like that. How dare I come out here with conspiracy theories? It's so ridiculous and all that. But I'm telling you, it's nothing that I have in regards to what I saw that gives me evidence of what it is that I'm saying. It was just the feel of the whole situation, watching it over and over again, seeing Solomon Hill's reaction to doing so, seeing him go for the ball, seeing his arms curl as he was leaning into the leg, knowing that, as Montrez said, he would have to go through LeBron's leg at that angle in order to get to that ball, and he's leaning in with his shoulder going directly at the man's ankles. These are athletes we're talking about. They understand more about the body and what to do and how to harm somebody than anyone. He, like I said at the beginning of this video, if that would have happened to an average person, like say myself, or someone that big jumping at my leg at that angle, my leg is probably going to pop. Solomon Hill is a massive human being coming at you with a force that has him low to the ground, which is more inertia, obviously. And you're leaning in and you're diving forward and you're going straight at a person's leg at an awkward angle. That's only going to do nothing but cause damage to that area. What exactly did he think he was going to do in that situation? And I tell you exactly what he thought he was going to do. He thought he was going to break LeBron James' leg. And so, in my opinion, not only am I at a space where I think he should be suspended, I think they should start looking at it seriously. You know what I mean? Like, for me, where my mind goes, like, who put you up to this? You know what I mean? Who paid you to do this? That's where my head goes. And you talk about LeBron James had just purchased a big portion or a massive, I don't know, I don't want to mistake what I'm saying, but he got his portion of the Red Sox 3 days ago, and now all of a sudden his leg is all messed up. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, all right. Yeah. So that's where my mind goes. And if I'm off the wall, if I'm thinking outside of here, if I'm doing too much, I'm open to that, because I know this doesn't sound conventional, but it's just a vibe that I got from watching it. I've been on this earth for 34 years. I've seen some wacky stuff. I've seen some people do some weirdo stuff. That man had no emotion for what he did there. He didn't have any remorse. In fact, it looked like he said, okay, I got it done. That money better be in my account. Like, that's what I took from it. That's the vibe, Solomon. I mean, if you ever see this video, man, if I'm wrong, if I'm speaking down in your name, I'm not the only one. Everybody in Laker Nation is going up with their own reasons of how this shit played out. Why our guy is hurt. Why our championship hopes are down the toilet. And I look at LeBron James, like I said, he just purchased the Red Sox like 3 days ago, or at least his portion of it, joined the Fenway group of something, whatever, you know how it went. We know how things like this can go for people of color. When we get in certain places that certain people don't want us to go to, all of a sudden things happen to us. Now it's 100 people suddenly coming out saying that you did this or did that, and everybody's in agreement that you're the worst person in the world right after you did something great. We've seen this movie a couple times now. So I know that LeBron James was the first African American to ever own a portion of the Red Sox, and my mind starts to flare off in different ways when I see stuff like this happen directly after a situation like that occurs. I'm sorry. I really am. I get it. Conspiracy theories are not something that most people want to hear come out of the mouths of people who don't have information or insight, but it's a vibe. What you want me to do? I didn't like what I saw there, man. I mean, if I want to cop a plea for why I'm going here with my mind, I'm a Laker fan, and this is the best player in the world, and somebody who should not have even probably been on the floor with him in his league managed to do something illegal to my eyesight, look illegal, and now he's going to be probably out for more time than he should be missing at all, in a time when he's breaking records left and right. You know what I mean? When he's getting his name etched in stone as one of the greatest players to ever play sports. So, I don't know. I feel a way about it. I feel a way about who did it. I feel a way about how it looked after it happened. I feel a way about all this shit, honestly. And I can't, time away from it, thinking about it, didn't help. That's basically where I'm going with that. So I just wanted to get out here and say that, man. If you feel differently, if you feel like I do, that's cool. If you feel differently, I definitely welcome that too. But I've seen things like this that are worse. I've seen players do worse things. I'm not going to sit here and say like this is the worst Bush League play I've ever seen. But it occurred. I'm glad it wasn't worse than it is. I hope it's not something he has to have a hard time coming back from, or that other injuries arise because of him trying to come back from this too quickly or overcompensating. You know how that can go. I did see some concern for his knee when that injury took place. His knee did do some awkward kind of bend in that circumstances to go along with his ankle. His Achilles was disrupted in that ankle injury as well. I saw that. It looked like it was disrupted. I don't know to what degree, but you can imagine. So yeah, man, I'm not too pleased, you know. And I'll leave it up to other people who feel even more strongly than me to say more colorful language. But I think what goes around comes around, and whoever put Solomon Hill up to that is gonna have to feel that karma just like Solomon would. You know what I mean? That's what I will say. And I think I'll leave my video at that, man. My name is BDF44. I hope all these players get well. Hopefully we've seen the end of these injuries, but reality is players do get injured. So hopefully they all get back healthy, and that's all I got. Thank you.